I guess I could do a Bluey overview video. This video wasn't actually going to happen, but I actually stumbled upon Four-Eyed Freak, who I will be tagging in this video, which, by the way, if you're watching this, hi, I did recently subscribe to your channel. I'm actually interested in whatever content you have coming in the future. As of right now, I checked out only 2 of his videos, the We Bare Bears Iceberg and the greatest cartoon no one talks about, which is his overview on We Bare Bears. In fact, that same video is the inspiration for this video. Plus, I guess this could be useful for anyone who isn't exactly aware of Bluey, or doesn't know too much about it. I'll try and go into detail as best as I can, but obviously you're not going to see any visuals, so you're just going to have to look this stuff up. I apologize. This audio recording is going to be long to edit anyway. So with all that said, let's just get into this. Bluey is an Australian cartoon released by ABC that came out in 2018, and it was released throughout the world in different language dubs and stuff like that. It has around 3 seasons, with a movie coming out next year, in 2027, with nearly 200 episodes, a ton of minisodes, the big play, and of course, a ton of merchandise. And even though the show has been made by ABC, it actually is licensed by Disney to actually be on Disney Plus, and also air on Disney Channel and Disney Junior. Even though the show is on hiatus as of right now, it's not cancelled. The show stars the main 4 healers in the show, basically living their daily lives, with whatever games they have to tackle, including any kind of challenge. So there's Bluey, who's the main character of the show, plus her name is in the title of the show. She's actually nearly 7 years old and is the older child. There's Bingo, her younger sister, who's around 5. Then there's the mom, Chili, and the dad, Bandit. I could mention the multiple characters, but I don't have all day, so I'm just going to do my best to mention some of the characters. Like, here's some more of the healer family members. There's Muffin, who is actually the daughter of Stripe and Trixie. Stripe is Bandit's biological brother, and Trixie is, I guess, the sister-in-law to Chili. There's Socks, who is Muffin's younger sister. We also have the grandparents, Mort, who is Chili's dad. And while we do get a quick glimpse of Chili's mom in the Dragon episode, she actually hasn't appeared because, unfortunately, she actually has passed away. So except her flashback scene in Dragon, we never, unfortunately, officially got to see her in the show, which does suck, by the way. We also have Chris, aka Nana, and her husband Bob, who are Bandit's parents. We also have Rad, who is Bandit's older brother, and is officially married to Frisky. There is also Chili's sister Brandy. Just letting you know. Again, this show has a ton of characters. I could go into detail about them, but again, I don't have all day, so here's just a few quick kid characters I could mention. There's Chloe the Dalmatian, Coco the Poodle, Rusty the Red Kelpie, Mackenzie the Border Collie, Pat, who's the neighbor of the healers and is also the father of Lucky and Chucky, Wendy, who's also a neighbor of the healers, she is a Chow Chow and the single mom of Judo. Again, there are so many characters, but without further ado, let's talk about the main 4 healers. So like I mentioned earlier, Bluey is the older child who is nearly 7 years old. She's quite a good kid at heart. She bonds well with others in whatever game that goes on. Like, do I even need to mention anything more about how she bonded well with Winnie in the cafe episode, or how well she bonded with Jean-Luc in camping? Some certain games she does make up or be a part in can be pretty chaotic at times. Like her being a teacher in swim school, to try and be a mom in mum school, to making her invisible friend Tina, using the magic xylophone or magic asparagus. The list just goes on, but I can't list everything. But the point is, Bluey is a very sweet kid. Who is a girl, by the way, just letting you know in case anyone didn't believe it. Here's something I will mention for her in Bingo, but I just feel like bringing this up. She does have aspects from both of her parents. She does have her father's blue fur color, and even has 3 dark blue spots on the back of her just like her mom Chili. Except Chili's are white instead of dark blue. By the way, we have seen her as a baby before in the episode Baby Race, which I do highly recommend, by the way, if you haven't seen it already. So overall, that's Bluey Healer. Let's move on to Bingo, which is again her younger sister. Bingo does have aspects from both of her parents again, however she's mostly an orange healer, but just like her father Bandit, she does have a big spot on the back of her. Bingo is usually a sweetheart, often coming up with random games just like her sister Bluey, while also being a part of them, like her being in Featherwand, to being a queen, to having a bad mood. And she mostly works well with Bluey just fine. There may be some points where they do squabble or argue, like in Postman, but it's pretty minor compared to whatever games they get into. This also does happen in the hotel episode. Now we get on to Chili. Chili Healer is the mother of Bluey and Bingo. And okay, I have to break video style for just a moment here, but go check out my Bandit Chili Matter in Your Life video. I just feel like recommending that to you in case anyone needs it. Anyway, she is one of the best mothers in the show, doing the absolute best as she can. By the way, if anyone is wondering about what kind of job she does, she is an airport security guard. I just felt like bringing it up. I'll get to that when we talk about Bandit. Since Chili is the mom of the bunch, you would expect her to be in whatever games Bluey and Bingo come up with, and you would be correct. She is in most of the games that the girls come up with alongside her husband Bandit. And she is quite known for her parenting advice. I'm going to go over just a couple of her quotes. In the Sleepy Time episode, she does talk to Bingo in her dream, even though she is the sun. She says this, "Remember, I'll always be here for you, even when you can't see me, because I love you." From the chess episode, "Work on their heads later, for now, just hearts." And from Baby Race, which is something I will get into in just a moment here, there is the quote she does mention near the end of the episode, "Run your own race." Cause in this episode, Chili was trying the best that she can to make Bluey start to walk. However, Judo, who was actually a baby at the time, walked before Bluey. However, after the scene where Bella actually comforted and talked to Chili, Chili made the decision to run her own race. Overall, Chili is not only a very sweet person, but a very sweet and playful mother. A mom that I think some of us do need in our lives. Now on to the dad, Bandit. I mean, do I need to say much about this one? Bandit is well known for being the most iconic dad in fiction, and it's pretty easy to see why. Just like Chili, Bandit is very playful towards his kids. Unlike Chili, however, Bandit has made a few mistakes which he does try to make up and apologize for. Such as in the Perfect episode, or by unintentionally/accidentally playing too rough with Bingo in the Yoga Ball episode. However, those two words are the key words, accidentally or unintentionally. Overall, just like Chili, he does the best that he can as a father. By the way, remember what I mentioned that Chili was an airport security guard? Well, Bandit is actually an archaeologist. We can see this in the archaeology short. I'll leave a link in the description if anyone is curious on checking it out. He is definitely a dad role model that I think, again, just like Chili, some of us do need in our lives. Despite his parents not exactly being as good as him, this is weird to find out that Bandit was probably trying to be better than them. I just made that up, I don't think that's actually the case, but we obviously know he does the best he can. Now, the show did have to start somewhere. We'll start with The Weeknd first. The Weeknd was one of the first early episodes to be animated. And we could tell because Bandit actually had a different design compared to his final one. While the fully finished episode did fix Bandit's design, plus fix anything that was in the original version can be viewed online if anyone is curious. Then there's the actual original pilot. It came out in 2016. It did have a different theme song compared to the finished theme song we actually see in the show. In the theme, we also do see the original versions of Rusty and Mackenzie. While the pilot is nothing special, with Bluey and Bandit having different designs. The pilot just consists of Bluey wanting to play on the swing while Bandit wants to play on his phone, and Rusty and Mackenzie do show up near the end. This can also be viewed on YouTube. No, that's really it. That actually is all that happens in the pilot episode. Now, like I mentioned earlier in this video, there are a lot of characters for this film, so here's just a quick example of some of the side characters that I haven't mentioned already. There's Winton, who is a pit bull. Indy, who I honestly don't know her dog breed, can anyone correct that for me? Lucky and Chucky, who I mentioned alongside their father Pat, are also golden retrievers. Honey, who is a beagle and does wear glasses. Then there are some one-time characters. Winnie and her father Fido were present in the cafe episode. John Luke, who was in the camping episode. Captain and Mia in the Barky Boats episode. And the last of the one-time characters I'll mention for now is Dougie. He's actually unique because he was actually in the Turtle Boy episode. He was the first and as now only character who actually understood sign language since he can't hear. Which is quite unique to see compared to some of the other one-time characters we've seen already. Anyway, back to other side characters. Who, by the way, do appear more than once. Remember how I mentioned Baby Race? Bella is actually Coco's mom. We know nothing about her other 8 children. Yes, I said that. Bella has 9 kids, and Coco is one of them. We know nothing about her 8 children or her husband, but we do know she does the best she can. Then there's the Glasshouse primary preschool teacher, Calypso. This is the preschool that Bluey is in, including some of her friends like Rusty, Mackenzie, and Coco that I mentioned. So I'll mention one more character since, again, there are so many. But here's one more character who's actually friends with Bluey, Snickers, who's a Dachshund, but he's also being called a sausage dog. No, I am not kidding. With a popular franchise like Bluey, of course they're going to try and dish out at least one video game. So first up is the Bluey video game, released on Nintendo Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox, and all that stuff. It's a simple platformer collectathon type of game, where it has its own original plot just like the show. It has 6 playable characters, Bluey, Bingo, Chili, Bandit, and later on Muffin and Stripe. Then there's Quest for the Golden Pen, which is inspired by the Escape and Dragon episodes. Well, those 2 episodes mostly had drawings, and that's what this game is pretty much all about in terms of its art design. And the next upcoming game, which I don't have a ton to talk about, is Bluey Happy Snaps, where it's like Pokemon Snap, but with Bluey characters. That game is scheduled to release this year in 2026, so just letting you know, you could go check out the trailer if you want to, because I don't really have a ton to talk about. This will be the final thing I'll mention in the video, since I was expecting this video to drag out longer, but unfortunately that's not the case. I'll give a quick rundown on the movie. Like I mentioned earlier, the movie is scheduled to release in 2027, specifically in August of 2027. Now, we don't know too much in terms of the character designs or the plot or anything like such, because the trailer hasn't actually been released yet. We do know that the animation will be CG, instead of the usual 2D style that's in the show. Otherwise, yeah, that's really it for now. So, surprisingly, that's the end of the video. Again, I was expecting this video to drag out a bit longer than this, but unfortunately, I apologize. I could mention the big play or the various soundtracks, but you could just look that up yourself. I do apologize if this video isn't as long as 4 Freaks video, but if I'm going to be honest, I am fine ending it right here, because no kidding, I've been working on this one voice recording for nearly an entire hour, and I'm already done. But hey, 4 Freak, if you're actually watching this, first of all, hi, welcome to my channel. Secondly, I hope you did enjoy this quick overview of Bluey. Since, in my opinion, I do think Bluey is the greatest cartoon ever made. But I do respect your opinion about We Bare Bears. Feel free to check out any of the other random videos I have made on my channel, if you want, but if anyone is curious in hearing me talk about Bluey more, they go check out my Bluey Vids playlist, which is public, by the way. So yeah, I don't really have a lot to mention. Again, I wasn't really planning to do a Bluey overview video, but I felt like it since I was inspired by 4 Freaks video about We Bare Bears, so yeah, I just felt like doing it. So with all that said, I'm Colin Astro Healer. I'll see y'all later with whatever we do next time, and that'll be all for now.